What's going on? Hold on. It's going to be a shit show tonight. I can already tell you. I don't feel like I got anything ready. It's chaos. We're trying to get a new Rosetta Stone ready. Trying to get packed for my trip because if you don't know, the big guy is meeting up with some of my homies and we are going to watch the Dell match play down in Austin, down in Texas. And we're going to be there Friday, which apparently is going to be raining. So hopefully going to bring a raincoat. I don't want to be walking up and down those hills chafing. If you don't know what chafing is, look it up. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate 75. I am a PGA DFS content creator who has been doing PGA DFS for a very long time. More good than bad, and I am here to help you quit sucking so bad at it, because if you don't know, this shit be tough, and a week like this is particularly tough because people don't really know how to do it. We've only ever had this slate like 4 or 5 times. It used to not even exist until DraftKings got cool and made it, and now that we have it, there is an edge to be had, but you got to know how to play the game. If you're one of those guys that has your picks and your picks mean so much to you, you're not going to like this show. You're not going to like it, so you might want to fuck off right now. I'm telling you. But if you want to, maybe learn how to play the game, get outside of your comfort zone, hang around for the next hour. You might just have a good time. Better yet, you might even like the cut of my jib. And if you do, I encourage you to come check out this schedule right here. We do this every Wednesday, 7 p.m., Lord's time zone. You notice, hey, dickhead, it's Tuesday. I get it. I know. But what are we going to do? The tournament starts a day early this week because it's a 5-day tournament. So we're doing it Tuesday night. But just know, normally it's Wednesday. And, of course, we do Showdown, Hoedown, Round 3 and Round 4 every Friday and Saturday night. And if you don't know, PGA Showdown is where the edge is. Okay, this is called Kicking the Nuts Week Long. We do this to ourselves because we are sluts and we enjoy the pain. But just know, Showdown's where it's at. I encourage you to check that out. There is no Showdown this week, at least for the match play. So don't. And I'm going to be in Austin, so no content. But I'll see you next Wednesday. But you know what? Hang around. You know why you should hang around? Because I'm doing a big drawing sponsored by my dude Nuggets, who just wins a GPP like every other week. So we will be doing a big giveaway at the end. We'll be giving away multiple tickets where you will get to build a lineup with me. And if you don't know, I've hit some pretty big ones. I PayPal the guy $10,000. YOLO. Okay. Hey, hopefully we get to do $500,000 before the year's over. You know what I'm saying, brother? So hang around to the end, and I will draw you. All you simply got to do is put a question in the chat with a question mark, and that will make you eligible for the drawing. That's it, brother. If you don't know, the big guy has a problem with saying the word fuck. I've already told you to fuck off once, so I'm going to count it this time. Every week at the end, we will draw, and one of you will get to play me in the fuck counter right here. And if you beat me, I will PayPal you all the money in the fuck counter because I'm trying to stop saying fuck because it fucking pisses my mom off. Okay, so how do you get to do that? You just hang around to the end, and if you get drawn, you get to play me. The guy that I played last week was Radagast 196. Hey, Teddy, what do you think?
Pay that man his money.
No, Teddy, we're not going to pay him his money. We whooped his ass. That's 5 weeks in a row. Will the big guy ever lose again? No, I won't. I'm just going to say fuck forever. Fuck. That's what I'm going to do because that's 5 in a row. Ever since I switched to my single entry, literally haven't lost. You mess with a bull, you get the horns. I'm telling you, man, watch out. All right, so I'll probably forget. I will be very fair with you. I will forget some Fs, okay? Sometimes I just get caught up in the mood, and people's takes on this tournament in particular get me extra saucy. I mean, extra saucy. You go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I would be blazing tonight, okay? That's how I'm going to be feeling about some people's takes on this shit. Okay, let's start with a very, 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 very simple question. Hey, new guy. First of all, welcome to the channel. Glad you're here. I just have a simple question. We get the night started. I'm not a high-energy kind of guy. I like to keep it nice and low like you're at a therapist, okay? Have you made your lineups yet? You have! I know you have. I can see it. You've heard about it. You know you shouldn't have, but you started messing around. You've already made them. Damn you, new guy. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to let this one slide, but one of these weeks, I want these new guys to not suck balls, okay? That's my goal. It hasn't happened yet. New guy, you can't make your lineups until you watch this stream. Until you watch the stream, you don't have all the relevant, pertinent information to help you not make such donkey dick decisions, okay? So be patient. You got plenty of time. Plus, I'll give you some tools that will help you get a little bit better at doing this, all right? So let's start where we always start. Contest selection, because if you don't know, this is the first place where you are screwing up and the first place where DraftKings likes to get me fucking tilted. What are you doing, DraftKings? The $5 has already filled, okay? Which, by the way, was a tremendous contest. I can't even remember the exact numbers. I want to believe it was a $250,000 total prize pool with $30,000 to first. That sounds right. I've already max entered it. I could probably go look at my upcoming lineups, but you know what? I'd rather just bitch than click over there. The big $20 will be full probably within the next couple hours. The secondary $5 looks like it's probably going to fill by the end of this stream. If you can't tell, it sucks, right? The second one they did for $30,000. It's the third to first. Hey, Paulie, tell them.
Get the fuck out of here.
DraftKings, what are you doing? You should have just made the first one 500,000. People love PGA DFS. God, y'all are so stupid. But it starts on Wednesday. We were afraid it might overlay. Not even close, pal. Figure it out. Golly. Help me help you, DraftKings. All right, the 555, look, this is a rare week where I am actually going to tell you I am more in favor this week with all of the chaos that I actually like MMEs. That's mass multi-entry, new guy. That's where you can put a whole bunch of lineups into a contest, right? Up to 150. This is one of the weeks I'm actually more in favor. I maxed the $20, the big $20 right there. I maxed the big $5 right there, and I am not playing really. I think the most expensive lineup I'm doing is like $125 Fantasy Golf World Championship. I'm not playing in the higher level stuff, which tend to be what I preach. The higher dollar single entries tend to be the better contest. Of course, I'm going to play in my $10 18 max. It's always the nuts, but really I'm playing in smaller entries, and I want to spam lineups and play the game more and give myself more chances to hit an optimal lineup because so many donkey dicks will make unoptimal lineups. So this is a week I wouldn't even consider the 555. If you do just want to make one lineup, I think that you can never go wrong with the $200 single entry if you play that kind of money. Only 20% to first, half of that to second, and 10th place is 1/30th. So not the worst, not the best. You know I love this $250 4 max. But where I think a lot of you, like the kind of prizes that a lot of you are looking for, you want to play less than $100 a week. If I'm playing less than $100 a week, I'm checking out this $12 single entry, the $5 single entry. I'm checking out the $1.20 max, the 50-cent MME. So for $75, you can go enter 150 lineups in that. They have a dime contest, which is you can do up to 20 lineups. So that's only $2, and you can max enter that. They have a quarter. So for $5, you can max enter that 20 max. And then you can, of course, go play in the $3 3 max, the $8 3 max, another $12 single entry. This $3 20 max is always great. Looks like they already have a secondary of my contest. Is this mine? The $10, $10 28 max. DraftKings, what are we doing? You did not okay this by me, okay? What are we doing? So, lots of good contests, no matter what kind of price you're playing. I'm telling you, this is a week, at least for me. Okay, if you have a strong take on how you want your lineup to look, well, then go play a single entry or 3 max. But what I would tell you is I think you probably want to do 20, 50, 100 lineups. You're like, well, I can't afford that. Yeah, you can, because some of them are as cheap as a dime, a quarter, or 50 cents. And I think that you want to be able to have a nice big player pool, play the game, pick your guys from the right sections of the bracket, and give yourself the best chance. That's my opinion, which typically goes against everything I stand for, new guy. Normally, I'm like, tell those big MMEs to fuck off. But not this week. This week, I'm actually in favor of them because it is such a lottery this week. But the good news is this is a lottery where you can actually have a built-in advantage if you hit the right lineup. Please don't get it mistaken. It is still hard as shit to get 6 guys out of group play. Hell, if you get 5 out of 6 out of group play, you might want to start counting your money already. I already forgot to do our first winner. Is that really... Am I really seeing that Cody Berry won again? So Cody Berry's the guy I already sent $10,000 to just last week, and apparently he just won again. So Cody, we're doing another lineup. I'm not gonna lie, the bot loves you, but because of that, we'll probably do another one. Plus, Cody is sponsoring $500 in giveaway for the Masters coming up in just 2 weeks, so be looking out for that. All right, so there's your contest selection. Of course, the best contest you should play in is mine. It's down in the link of this video. Get in there, no strings attached. Winner gets a free week on my website, and you get to build a lineup with me. So not so bad. So does second place. Second place gets a free week over on the thing. If you want to know the winner of last week, J Chambers, 15. Let's give it up for Jay. All right, good job, brother. So there you go, Jay Chambers. Congratulations. Reach out to me. We'll build a lineup tonight. Okay. Next question, new guy. What's the first thing we always check? Even though this week I feel like it matters way less than it normally does. That's right. There you go. It's the wind, okay? Wind, weather, either one. If you don't know they're playing in Austin, I need to know that because I'm driving there tomorrow morning bright and early. The big guy's getting up early. All right, they're playing at Austin Country Club, which is right there in Austin of all places. And I got to tell you, Bob, this shit's going to be spicy. I mean spicy. I wish this was a regular golf tournament because look at this weather. I mean, every day it is sustained over 20-mile-an-hour winds with 50-mile-an-hour gusts on Thursday. Look at that. I'm not bullshitting you. 50-mile-an-hour gusts for almost the whole afternoon. And then I'm going to be out there Friday, and notice there's no winds, but there's going to be rain. I'm watching out for the chafing. We're bringing baby powder. So, What I'm telling you is this could be important, okay? Of course it's not important because there's going to be a wave edge. There's no wave edge this week, right? Everybody's going to be on the course at the same time. Everybody's going to be playing each other. There's no such thing as a wave edge. However, if you want to go with narrative street, which I'm a big fan of narratives this week. I have my narrative, and I think you should have your narrative. It'll help you pick players, right? At least there's some logic to the picks that you have when you do this, okay? When you pick a narrative. And if you want to go on team, I love windy, guys who play well in windy conditions, well, then that makes sense because it's going to be windy as shit out there for at least 2 of the 3 pool days. If you don't know, new guy, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are the first 3 days of the contest. Yes, the contest starts tomorrow. The tournament starts tomorrow, and they will be playing the pool play, right? You'll be playing the 4 guys in your little pool. If you advance from there, Saturday, they'll play the round of 16 and the round of 8. And if they make it through that, Sunday will be the final 4, which will be the semifinals and the final match. That's how it works. So for these first 2 days, it's going to be imperative that you probably be a good win player, or at least not a horrific win player, right? If you're a little delicate flower that's like, the wind blew my ball and I can't do anything about that. Okay, well then you're probably not going to have very much fun these first 2 days. So if you're buying that narrative, you know, Ricky Fowler and Victor Hovland, they both went to Oklahoma State, and I've heard it's windy there. Can confirm. I lived there most of my life. Stillwater is a very windy place. And if you want to buy that narrative, I get it, right? It's no different than I'm playing the guys who are good at match play narrative, or I'm playing the good putter narrative, or I'm playing the ball striker narrative, or I'm playing the recent form narrative. I don't give a shit what your narrative is, but I think that it's a good idea to have a narrative and use that to help kind of guide your player pool and who you want to have in that player pool. So that is how I'm going to be using the wind and the weather this week, is I'm going to use it to help me form my narrative and not so much, just like, be like, oh, there's a wave edge, because there is no wave edge, brother. Okay, this isn't a typical week where we're like, you got to go PM AM, guys, which, by the way, hit again last week. Just to let you know. Okay, by the way, after this is over, I still have to go make 330 lineups, right? I'm maxing in the $20. I'll put 150 of that. I'll put another 150 in the $5, and then I just did about 30 single entries or so, right? How am I going to make 330 lineups tonight? I'm going to use the best optimizer out there called The Solver. If you don't know, The Solver has basically helped me win 2 GPPs and 27 top 10s in the past 5 weeks, okay? How does it do that? Well, it's simple. I make a good player pool. I do the research. I tell the players I want. But what the Solver does is it takes the best version of my player pool and makes the most optimized versions of it. And this week in particular, it is indispensable because you can go click on these rules right over here, and it will keep you from building unoptimal lineups, right? I've heard some of the competition isn't even doing this. So if you want to go hand build 330 lineups, you go right on the fuck ahead. But I will not. I will be using an optimizer, and I will be using it to make the best versions of my player pool. Okay, it'll all be loaded in here. The whole thing to make 330 lineups, get them uploaded on DraftKings will take me less than an hour. I've already done the legwork. I'm putting my player pool together. Everything will be done in an hour, and I'll still make lineups with all of them. How do I do it? It's easy. I use the Solver. And here's the best part. Are you going to pay $100 a month or over for a place that doesn't even give you these rules and build these things in there? No, you're not. You're going to pay $25 a month. I encourage you to use my landing page. You see that little showdown hoedown symbol right there? That will get you all of my projections. You see DGen 75 right there? That's me. Ah! And it will come with my ownership in there too, if that is part of your decision-making process. So make sure, sign up with my landing page right there. It will be in the description. And I swear by it. It is. I've always been a pretty good PGA DFS player. I am a much better one now that I have the Solver. Swear by this product. I steal 2 things, and I will die on this hill. It's amazing. All right. New guy, if you don't know, this is an awesome week because it is a different format, which is nice. Anytime there's a new format, it brings a whole nother level of strategy into it that we don't always get. And anytime there's more strategy, you guys do not realize this, but there is so many people out there that play PGA DFS who are just fucking simpletons. They don't have any idea what's going on week-to-week basis. They've heard of this Jordan Spieth whippersnapper kid. He's a solid young man. I like him. And he's from Texas, so I'm going to play him. Okay, there's so many of these guys out there. You don't realize it, right? We live in this little sweaty try-hard community where we think everybody knows this and everybody knows these strategies, but they don't, brother. Trust me, they don't. Okay? At least 30% of lineups this week will be built unoptimally, and probably 20% of lineups will be built almost dead from the beginning. It will be insane. So that covers the rake right there. So if you're worried about DraftKings, man, they charge too much rake. Don't worry. The donkey dicks are paying it this week. So how it works is we've got 16 groups of 4 guys, right? We'll call them groups, okay? We're going to call this a group, and then we'll call this a pod, and then we'll call the whole 16 a quad, okay? If you don't like my language, I don't give a shit. All right. So, as you can see, the first group, we got the Scotty group here, and then you got Sung Jae. Those two will play in the round of 16. If you advance out of pool play, you will then play each other Saturday morning in the round of 16, okay? Morikawa and Hovland's group, the winner of these two will also play in the Sweet 16. Homa and Spieth's group will play in the Sweet 16. Burns and Cantley's group will play in the Sweet 16. Rom and Young, by the way, I'm just saying the name of the group. That doesn't mean those are the guys that are going to advance. Trust me. The 1 seeds only advance in this 1 out of 3 times, or 33% of the time. Cam Young and John Rahm, they will play in the Sweet 16. Their groups. Tony Finau's group, Will Zalatoris group will play in the Sweet 16. Xander and Fitzpatrick will play in the Sweet 16. Hatton and Rory's group will play in the Sweet 16. The winner of each of those. They spend 3 days narrowing it down to who's going to win that group. There are no tiebreakers, right? So if you go 2-1 and the other guy goes 2-1 and you beat him, that doesn't matter. It will still go to a playoff Friday. They do that to keep the suspense all the way through Friday. So it's almost impossible to have your group already locked up by the end of Thursday, right? It's almost impossible. Even if you win your first 2 matches, if you lose your third one and one of the other guys wins and they go 2-1, you go 2-1 and you beat them, you're still going to have to beat them in a sudden death playoff, okay? So really up until Friday, you're still going to have at least a puncher's chance to be alive in this thing, okay? Now, let's talk about the rules. There's really only 3 big rules you need to follow this week, okay? And each of these are ranked in importance. Rule number 1, definitively, without question, the one rule you must follow this week is you must have a lineup. Your lineup of 6 guys must be able to have 4 guys reach the final 4, okay? So if you make a lineup, and let's say you play Noren, you play Morikawa, you play Homa, you play Spieth, you play Billy Horschel, and you play Kurt Kitayama, okay? That's who you built. Well, your lineup is literally already dead. You have no chance of winning a GPP with that lineup because you picked nobody down here from this quad of 16. You don't have any players from this quad down here, so at best, you can only get 3 of 4 to the final 4. And almost certainly, to win a large-scale GPP, you will need 4 of 4 to make the final 4, okay? And making the final 4 is double clutch because not only will they be playing all those matches to get there, they will then be getting 2 more guaranteed matches because whoever wins these semifinals will go play for the championship, but the losers also play for 3rd place. So you have to have lineups that have all 4 guys that can reach the final 4. If you don't do that, just fucking PayPal me the money because you ass ain't winning this week. All right, rule number 2. Do not play 2 guys from the same group, okay? This one is particularly stupid. If you love Scotty Scheffler and you love Tom Kim, okay, great. That's fine. It really is. You can play them, just not in the same lineup, okay? You can play them, just make sure they're not in the same lineup together because now you're literally giving yourself a 0% chance of having all 6 guys get through pool play, right? You at least want to have guys from 6 different pools or 6 different groups, okay? When you do that, at least then you could have a 6 of 6. If you get 6 of guys to advance, 6 of 6 to advance from pool play, you are very live to win. And the third rule, and I hear some people fight back on this one, and honestly, it fucking tilts my balls. Have 6 guys that can reach the Elite 8, okay? Think of this as a group, but these 2 together are a pod, okay? So if you have Scotty Scheffler, you have Sung Jae M, okay? You do not want to have them in the same lineup because now they cannot both reach the Elite 8, right? Only one of those 2 guys, because they're going to play in the round of 16, can reach the Elite 8. So you don't want to play those guys. You do not want to play those guys in the same lineup. You can have them in your player pool, but just make sure you have a rule that when this guy plays, I don't put him in this lineup together. I don't put Scheffler and M in the same lineup, okay? Or maybe you really love Fleetwood and you love Scheffler, okay? Well, here's what I'd say. And this is what a lot of people say. Well, it's so impossible to get 6 of 8 or 6 of 6 to the Elite 8 anyways. Why even think about that? Okay, here we go. This is as simple as I can make this. You love Scotty Scheffler and you love Tommy Fleetwood, and I gotta play them both. Okay. Well, first of all, I guess if you're playing one lineup, go right on ahead. But I would just say this, all right? And this is the point I would make. You gotta play Scotty Scheffler. You think he's gonna win? I get it. The guy's unbelievable. Okay. But you gotta play Tommy Fleetwood. He's just playing so good. He did so good last week at Valspar. Okay, whatever. This is what I'm talking about. If you are married to Tommy Fleetwood and you're going to make your lineup optimal because you're so in love with Fleetwood, you have not figured out that your picks fucking suck, okay? You know who else's picks suck? My picks suck. The guy whose pod you listen to, his picks suck. Your touts pick, they suck. Everybody's picks suck. Instead of playing Tommy Fleetwood, just go play freaking Matthew Fitzpatrick, okay? And if you go play Matthew Fitzpatrick, you will now have a chance to have an optimal lineup. Whereas if you play Tommy Fleetwood, you have 0 chance at an optimal lineup, okay? But I like Tommy Fleetwood. Bro, Tommy Fleetwood and Matthew Fitzpatrick, I don't care what you think. Here's the sad reality. They are both the exact same percentage to make it out of pool play. They are not different players. They have the exact same chance. Matter of fact, I would say Fitzpatrick has a better chance of making it out of pool play because he doesn't have to play Sung J M, who is a much better player than anybody that is in Matthew Fitzpatrick's group, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is if you're like, well, it doesn't really work out that way. Okay, well then just go play scratch-off lotteries, okay? If you don't want to play any edge and you don't want to build optimally and you just want to hope that everything works out, then just go fucking play scratch-offs. Just go do that instead. You'd do way better, okay? I'll just never understand that, okay? If you want to play Scotty, play him. And if you want to play Fleetwood, play him. Just don't play him in the same lineup together. It's not that hard. All right, let's talk some pro tips, okay? I have more of these, but I'm only giving those over on the website, but I will give you 9 of my 14 here, okay? The first one is double leverage. This is a very, very, very rare week. You get this in football. You get this in basketball where when this guy does well, it typically means this guy does worse, right? If Devin Singletary runs for a bunch of rushing touchdowns, that directly steps on the dick of Josh Allen, right? Those two things. There's causation, okay? Or at least correlation in there. Whereas this week, we have true causation at golf, which we never have. Normally, when Scotty Scheffler does well, that has no impact on Tom Kim, right? Tom Kim and Scotty Scheffler can finish 1-2 in a tournament. You're probably going to need both of them. But this is one of the rare weeks where we get causation. When Scotty Scheffler does well this week, that directly means that Tom Kim cannot do well. It's impossible. They can't both do well. So this is one of the rare times we ever get causation. So what you can do is you can play the double leverage game this week. Let's go take somebody who's going to be very chalky. Let's go take the little angry leprechaun himself. No, this is Hunchback. I'm sorry, Quasimodo. Terrell Hatton is going to be very popular this week. He is very fairly priced. He has a very super soft group, and he's probably going to advance from his group, right? So Terrell Hatton is a guy that everybody's going to want to play. And here's what I would tell you about that. This is one of the rare times you ever get double leverage because there is less than a 40% chance or more, or like only a 40% chance or less that Terrell Hatton advances, which means over half the time his ass ain't going to make it out of pod play. So not only would I have that super leverage by fading one of the chalkiest guys this week, but now you can go take somebody like Lucas Herbert, somebody who nobody is playing this week, who will definitely be less than 5% owned, and you play him, and now with Terrell Hatton not doing well, directly correlates to Lucas Herbert doing better. It gives him a better chance. If Lucas Herbert makes it out of the pool play, that directly means Terrell Hatton did shitty this week. To those two things, he cannot do well. Hatton and Herbert cannot both do well this week. One or the other, okay? So if you are on the Lucas Herbert train and you want to play the double leverage game, go play his ass, okay? Uh-oh. Did I just shut down? Am I shut down? Uh-oh. What just happened? Am I still alive? Am I still alive? Okay. Somebody tell me in the chat if I'm still alive. All right. I don't know what the fuck happened. Hey, editor, got that memory thing again. Okay, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all of you in the chat. All right. So you can get double leverage. If you think that Lucas Herbert is going to do good, that will directly affect Terrell Hatton doing good. This is one of the rare times, if ever, in PGA, we get double leverage. So you can play low-owned guys, and it can directly kill a high-owned guy. So you can get double leverage. Not only are you getting great leverage on playing a low-owned guy and him doing well, you are killing a high-owned guy because he will not be making it. So there you go. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to play sleepers this week, search for sleepers from weaker groups, okay? So like when I'm talking about a weak group, like let's say you really want to play just a super punt this week and you want to play Andrew Putnam, okay? First of all, bold, all right? But if you're going to play, I would like Andrew Putnam way more than I would like a guy like Davis Riley. Even though I think Davis Riley is a better golfer than Andrew Putnam, if I'm playing sleepers this week, I'm going to be searching for sleepers from weaker groups because they are much more likely to make it through. Davis Riley could play great this week, and him playing great still ain't going to be as good as Scotty Scheffler even playing good, brother. So because of that, when I'm picking my sleepers, I'm going to be very aware of weaker groups, right? Davis Thompson looks horrendous. He has been playing terrible. He could never do well. But I would play Davis Thompson before I would play Davis Riley, okay? Simply just because he's in a weaker group. That's all it is. Rule number 3, same group ownership leverage, okay? If you, I'm tilted now. Hold on. I was just thinking of this one through. I'm going to come back to that one just a second because I think it correlates well with number 4 here. Number 4, consider the projected ownership of each group. So each of these groups, let's go pick this Rahm, Billy Horschel, Keith Mitchell, and Ricky Fowler. I think this is going to be a relatively popular group. Let's say Rahm is 20%, Billy Horschel's 5%, Mitchell's 10%, and Fowler's 10%, right? So that would be 20, 5, 35, 45. So the total ownership of this group would be 45% projected ownership. Whereas all of these groups on average should only be 37.5%. So anytime you see the projected ownership for any one of these little groups of 4 being above 37.5, what does that mean? That means that that group is going to be over-owned by the field. Thus, you can leverage that group by being underweight on it because the field is going to be overweight on that group. You want to know a group that the field's going to be overweight on? This Scotty Scheffler, Tom Kim, Norn, and Riley group, right? I think it's going to be something like 45 or 50% projected ownership. So this is a group that you either need to go all in on one of these guys or kind of play it lighter and let the field be overweight on this group because at only 37.5% is it going to pay off for them, right? And the rest of the time, it is going to be advantage you. Okay, because like you got to remember, if 50% of people or the total ownership for this is 50%, only 37.5% of the time is it going to make up part of the Sweet 16, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Go look at projected ownership for each group, and if it's over 37.5, that means that little group of 4 is over-leveraged, and you would be better off being underweight on it, okay? Because only one guy can advance from there, so just take the free equity points and get the hell out of there. Number 5, consider format scoring. If you don't know, the scoring this week is pretty weird, and you actually want guys that are kind of boomer bust players. If you got guys that will go birdie, bogey, it's a lot like a normal week. Those guys get you way more points because even if your guy loses the match, but he wins 6 holes, he's going to get you a whole bunch of points, right? You want guys that win holes. You don't want guys who go, have 17 holes and then win 1 hole and win the match 1 up. That's just not going to get you near as many points as a guy who wins 6 or 7 holes. So you want guys, don't mind going for guys that go put a ball in the drink or 2 or 3, right? Cam Davis is a guy that can put 57 balls in the drink, but he also makes 16 birdies around too, okay? So a guy like that becomes a lot more appealing because if you know the scoring, you know that's where the real points are. It is not about simply just always advancing. Of course, you want your guys to advance, get more matches, get more holes. But with those matches, they also got to be winning holes for you or it's no good. It's useless, right? From there, play guys that make no sense, okay? When I'm doing my research, okay, there's going to be some guys. Why on earth this week would you ever play? I'll just go pick on him again. Davis Thompson, right? He shouldn't even be in this. He wouldn't even be in it if the live guys were still here. He makes no sense. He's not a particularly great putter. He's in terrible form. He's in a group with a bunch of guys that just seem noticeably better than him. You should never play him. But a wise man once told me he could never do good. Or he could. I'm just telling you, you're going to have to play some guys that make no fucking sense because you want to know something? This tournament makes no fucking sense. And as soon as you embrace that and you play some guys that make no sense, you will do so much better. It's showdown every once in a while. I just go play some guys like, that guy makes no sense. I'm playing him 20%. Why? Because he doesn't make sense. And PGA DFS doesn't always make sense. Embrace that and use it to play the leverage game. Pro tip. Number 7. 2 studs from the same quad is unoptimal, okay? Let's say that you love Scotty Scheffler, you love Victor Hovland, okay? Well, here would be my advice. I don't think you should play them in the same lineup together. You'd be like, bro, they're from different pods. Hear me out, okay? I think that it is unoptimal to spend so much of your money on 2 guys like Hovland and Scheffler whenever they both don't have the ability to make the Final Four, right? If you have Scheffler and Hovland in your lineups, yes, they can both make the Elite 8, and you could still build an optimal lineup. But so much of your salary will be dedicated to those 2 guys that you probably want to have those guys where they can each make the Final Four. Instead of Scheffler and Hovland, you'd be way better off going Scheffler and Homa because they wouldn't meet until the Final Four. And it's going to be very hard. Let's say you'd be like, well, I guarantee a guy in the Final Four. That is true. Scheffler and Hovland meet in the Elite 8. You would guarantee a guy in the Final Four. But that means the other 4 spots in your lineup are going to be guys that are punts because you don't have a ton of salary left because you've spent so much on Hovland and Scheffler. So I think it's a suboptimal play to have your 2 most expensive guys be from the same quad. Okay. Whoa, did I just pick? Did I just accidentally pick Norm? Was that like a Freudian slip? What did I just do? No, we'll take Scheffler. All right. So I hope you understand that one. When I'm picking guys, I am not going to pick 2 studs from the same quad. If I love Scotty Scheffler and I want to cram another stud in with him, it ain't going to be Morikawa or Hovland, and it sure as shit ain't going to be M. Does that make sense? I don't want 2 studs in the same quad because I want to give both of my studs a chance to make the Final Four because let's face it, they're way more likely to make the Final Four, right? All right, pro tip number 8, single entry versus MME. If you want to go back to my rules up here, if you want to do the 6 guys reach the Elite 8, I think that there is an argument that if you want to play a guy like Fleetwood in your one lineup this week in your single entry, if you're going to do it, please do it in single entry. But I am telling you, in the MMEs and the ones with 30, 50, 100,000 people in it, you need to be making lineups where all 6 of your guys can make the Elite 8. So in a single entry, I think you can be a little bit lazier with Rule 3, okay? But in the MMEs, where you have to beat tens of thousands of people, you have got to be building lineups that are optimal, which means 6 guys can reach the Elite 8 because you need every edge you can get to beat, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people. All right, and the last one, pro tip number 9. Leave at least $200 on the table. When you go make your lineups over here on the solver today, go do this. Just go right here and you just go and you put my max is I want to spend is $49,800. So now, basically, no matter what lineup you build, even if you have a super chalky player pool, you will still have the ability to be very different because something like 80% of all lineups this week will spend $49,900 or $50,000. So you could go play a super chalky lineup, and if you just spend $49,800 or less, you have a very good chance of having a unique lineup that's going to be very, very different than a lot of other lineups simply by leaving that $200 on the table. So I encourage you, if you build your player pool and you're like, damn, I kind of am on all the chalky guys, consider making a rule in your optimizer that you leave at least $200 on the table for every single lineup. Okay, and maybe up to $1,000. I think you could leave $1,000 on this table this week. There will be so much chaos, you'll be okay. All right, that's my opinion. All right, let's talk a little ownership. If you don't know, the big guy, he's a sweaty tryhard when it comes to ownership. As you can see, the ownership has been getting much better across the industry, right? Who would have ever thought that if you hold people accountable that they fucking get better? There is 2 notable exceptions to that rule, but across the industry, ownership has gotten way better. This is why I don't post it on Twitter anymore. It's gotten better, and some people are getting butthurt. So I'll just keep talking about it on here. As you can see, across the industry, it's getting very good. It's very competitive across there. So kudos to everybody to quit sucking dick at doing ownership projections. Way to go, you motherfathers. If you're one of those guys that's like, man, I hate PGA DFS, the chalk always gets there. Does it? Does it really always get there? Because let me tell you, last week, Adam Hadwin, who told you not to play that donkey dick? Steven Yeager, Dylan Wu were our 3 donkey chalk guys. We pick all these ahead of time, go watch the stream, and then the pivots were Fleetwood, Post and Kazire, McCarthy, and Wallace, right? All within $500 of the guys they're pivoting off of. 5 of the 6 pivots outproduced the chalk guys. So for all of you, the chalk always gets there, really. How'd Adam Hadwin treat you? How'd that Jaeger bomb do for you? How'd old Dylan Wu Sunday, what did he shoot? 87 out there? Yeah. How'd that treat you, brother? You could have been playing Patton Kazire at 1%, Matt Wallace at 1%, right? Yeah. And, like actually winning GPPs instead of just going down like a donkey dick. Because like, the chalk always gets there. No, it doesn't. Matter of fact, we've now been tracking this for 20 weeks. The chalk outperforms the pivots 53 to 47. 53 to 47. We are damn near to 50-50, right? And the average donkey ownership is 20%, whereas the average ownership of the pivots is less than 10. So I'm getting over 2-to-1 equity, 2-to-1 odds for something that is almost 50-50. If you don't understand that is leverage, you're stupid, and I'll never be able to convince you any differently. All right, there it is. Let's get over to our top 10 most highest owned guys and a couple honorable mentions. Anytime you see an honorable mention, you should be like, hey, what's going on here? What is going on here, brother? All right. Number 1, coming in the highest owned. If you want to know the number 1 rule when it comes to ownership at the match play, what will lead people to ownership is this. Do I think he's going to advance from the pod? And people see Tyrrell Hatton. He is playing well. He has an easy pod, and he's very fairly priced. So I have him projected to be the highest owned guy this week, okay? And so Tyrrell Hatton is the highest owned guy. At 23%, that seems pretty normal, right? That's not really out of line. Or some people would call him the man Donkey Chalk. And we don't play Donkey Chalk, except when we do. Guy in the back, put your head down. All right, we don't play Donkey Chalk around here. Tyrrell Hatton, 23% at a tournament where there is so much variables. You get out of here, Bob. You get out of here. All right, Scotty Scheffler, 23%. I got to tell you, old Scotty was pushing it. He was pushing right up on the edge of Donkey Chalk this week, but I'm in a good mood. I'm going to give Scotty, chalk, okay? Just because there's some other guys up there in the upper 10s and 11Ks who are close to him. But Scotty, you're this close. You get up to 25%. If I do my ownership later and you're 25%, I will donkey your ass. I will donkey you, okay? That's a weird statement. I'll donkey you. All right, Max Homa coming in at a smooth 21.2%. When there are guys who are at least as good a golfers as him right next to him who are coming in at 10%. Do you even need to know what this man is? Max Homa is the man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk! Except when we do, guys. Guys, except when we do. You know the rules. Except when we do. Golly. Some of these guys, they act like we can't play Donkey Chalk. We don't play it. We never play it, new guy. Except when we do. All right, Patrick Cantlay. You're pushing it. I was for sure he was going to be Donkey Chalk. I still want to call him Donkey Chalk. Matter of fact, I'm going to hedge. I'm going to call him somewhere between and Donkey Chalk. So the man is Donkey Chalk. Donkey Chalk. That's what we're going to call him, okay? Now we're going to get into some real gross ones. Minwoo Lee. He's in a very weak group, right? Minwoo Lee has been playing well. Minwoo Lee, people think, he's so good because he does good over in Europe. Okay. So Minwoo Lee is coming in at a ridiculous 7,600 is coming in at 18%. If you don't see this one coming, new guy, you don't get the shtick yet. Minwoo Lee, the man Donkey Chalk! And we don't play him. We don't play Donkey Chalk except when we do. Except when we do. Head down. Okay, let's see here. Victor Hovland, he's pushing it 18%. I actually think he's going to get a little bit higher tonight. Victor Hovland, now that there's the win narrative, I think he gets that, ooh, he played at Oklahoma State. That's where the wind is. Okay, well, I'm in a good mood. I'm going to give him Chalk. I don't love it. Okay, John Rahm at 16%. I think you should be pumped. If you're a John Rahm truther this week, I think you got to be pumped to getting old Jonathan Ramathan at 16%, so whatever. If you want to call that chalk, that's okay, chalk, okay? Tom Hoagie, 15%. Taylor Montgomery, 14%. I'm going to say this one as loud as I can. These two guys right here, if you don't see this coming, these guys, they're donkey chalk. They are really, really bad donkey chalk. And we don't play it! Except when we do. Rory, I can't believe, this is me just, I think the whole thing with Rory, he's got a new club, man. He's trying new clubs, and he's like, doesn't want to be there. Bullshit narratives. Okay, I'm not saying he's not trying new clubs. I'm just saying it's a bullshit narrative, okay? I don't give a shit. He's more than acceptable. If you want to play Rory, you do a little jig in the street, and you be pumped that you're getting Rory at 13.7%, okay? Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Perez, I mean, these guys, they're pretty gross. They are pretty gross compared to the people around them, but I'm in a good mood, and my voice hurts, so they're just going to get, a chalk, okay? Chalk. And there you go. That gives you an idea. Once again, new guy, please hear me on this because so many dipshits out there misquote me on this. When I say donkey chalk, that doesn't mean you can't play it. Matter of fact, one of those donkey chalk guys, maybe two of them, will definitely be in my player pool this week. All it means is when I put them in a lineup, I'm aware of what that does to my lineup and how I need to differentiate the rest of my lineup. If you saw some of my lineups that win GPPs, it'll have 2 or 3 really chalky pieces in it, but it will also have a pivot or 2 and definitely a sleeper in there where I really differentiate my lineup. My big lineup last week that had a big sweat, it had 3 chalky pieces in it, but it also had Matt Wallace at 1%, right? It also had some lower owned pieces that gave me the leverage I need. It also had Nick Hardy. You prick. Thanks for missing the cut on the number. So once again, you can play donkey chalk. You just need to be aware of what it does to your lineup, and you need to be cognizant of how to change your lineup to make it competitive to win. Because if you play 5 or 6 donkey chalk pieces in a lineup, let me just go ahead and tell you the ending of the story. You're gonna lose. Okay, you're gonna lose. Or you know what? If you're gonna play 5 donkey chalk guys in a lineup, Polly, tell them.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, let's go look at my model. If you don't know, I'm a big model guy. The model is truth, and it has everything we need in life. So let's just look at the model to tell us who to play. Look, man, here's the thing. I'm never much of a model guy. I always say it makes up about 15 to 20% of my decision-making process. But this week in particular, I really don't give a shit what it says, okay? I looked at some very peripheral stats. Some things I looked at are, of course, putting at those specific courses because I'm kind of on team putter this week. Opportunities gained in their last 12 rounds, their recent form. You know, here's a crazy idea. Let's get guys that are playing well. Guys who make birdies or better, hashtag Cam Davis. Guys who've been ball striking, guys who are good at that par 4, those medium to short par 4s, I really think is important this week. Who plays short courses well, who plays fast greens, and if you want to buy the Pete Dye narrative, I put it on there. Look at that, I made a model, and John Rahm's number 1 in my model. Who would have ever thought I could get John Rahm to be number 1 in my model? I'm clearly gifted in life. Okay, so Rahm, Cantlay, Scheffler, 1, 2, 3 in the model, and 1, 2, 3 in Price. Okay, what a surprise! What a surprise! These models out of this world. But here's what I'm gonna say: Rory, not great on this putting. Rory is on putting on these surfaces. Rory is not in great form the last time we saw him. Rory is just getting ready for the Masters. Rory is trying out new equipment. Rory could never be good this week. Rory good. Okay, I'm just telling you. Him, Xander, Spieth. These 3 right here are just getting forgotten about, okay? If you like Xander, Rory, or Spieth, or all 3, I think you got to be excited because they are great pivots off of these guys. And if there's ever a week that you want to be living that pivot lifestyle, go do it. And if Xander misses, or if Rory misses the cut, okay, just ask yourself this. If he misses the cut and you're like, man, I knew I shouldn't have pivoted to him, go ask this. Who are you going to play? And did he make the Sweet 16? Okay, did he make it out of pool play? And if the answer to that is no, then shut the fuck up, okay? So, From there, Home is going to be very popular. He has too good of a group. I think Hovland's going to be popular, and which really leads to some really interesting pivots. Sung Jae is going to be a great pivot. Cam Young, for how easy his group is not as owned as you would think. And the most surprising one to me is Jason Day. I thought Jason Day would be super chalk this week, but I guess because he's a 2 seed in a relatively difficult group, and because he's 9,100 and he's priced just above Tyrrell Hatton, he's really not gaining any ownership. So if you're on the Jason Day train and you want to keep riding that train all the way to Victory Town, I think you got to be pumped because you're going to get him at very, very good ownership. If you don't know, Sam Burns is incredible on these surfaces. He can putt so well. He did start to show a little bit of form. You got to love guys who come off those good Sunday rounds. He could be that guy that could get hot. If there's a dude who can actually ball strike and roll like a champion on these greens, it's Sam Burns. I think Tom Kim's going to get completely overlooked this week simply because he's paired up with Scotty Scheffler, and everybody just assumes Scotty Scheffler is going to walk all over that group. But here's what you do. If you're committed that Scotty Scheffler's not going to win that group, well, once again, you're going to get that double leverage because you're going to get Tom Kim, a very, very good player at low ownership, and you're also going to be defeating a huge chalk donkey in Scotty Scheffler if Tom Kim advances out of that group. You'll have basically killed two birds with one stone. You'll have played a low-owned guy who made it, and you will have faded a chalk guy. From there, other guys, once again, Decky, Fitz, and Lowry. If you're playing the pivot game this week, you got to be open to those guys. Ricky Fowler and Keith Mitchell being a 3 and a 4 seed is at over $8,000 just shows you how tough that group is. I believe they're in Rom's group. Yeah, they're over here with Rom. And the crazy thing is Billy Horschel's in that group, who's the best match play player of them all, right? So those guys, once again, I think you're getting them at discounted ownership for how good they're playing, but it's going to be quite a tall order to get them to come out of that group because that is the toughest group by my ratings. Okay. From there, Tom Hoagie, Minwoo Lee are super popular. So, if you're being smart, you just fade those two donkey dicks and you just pivot to all these other guys around here, right? There's so many other guys. Taylor Montgomery is very popular, which sucks because if you can't tell, Taylor Montgomery is an assassin with a putter. And if I'm playing team putter this week, how do you not like Taylor Montgomery? If there's one thing that guy can do, he can roll the rock, okay? Alex Noren is a guy that's kind of a grinder. If there's somebody out there who can beat Scotty Scheffler, I have a sneaking suspicion it's Alex Noren. Matt Kuchar is incredible on these. Has actually been showing a little bit of form. Rolls the ball incredibly well and has a good match play record. I'm just saying, Bob. When I think of guys who can putt and grind, what about old Christian Bezuidenhout? Every time I play him, he seems to do well. Down here, there's like this little patch of high-owned guys right here. For whatever reason, Maronk, KH Lee, Ben Griffin, Victor Perez, all very chalky. I just happily go play a JT Post and a Davis Thompson McKenzie Hughes. Man, I can't. Look, Davis Thompson's terrible in your model. He is. And he could never do well. Or he could. I'm just saying, JJ Spawn, he's terrible. Look, he's dead last in my model. I could never play him. Or you could. So I'm just telling you, get outside of your comfort zone, get the hell off of these models, play the game this week, okay? And the game this week is to play the leverage game because if your low-owned piece hits and he is in the same group as a high-owned piece, you have just double killed it. You've just double killed it. That is the game. That is what you need to play this week, especially if you're doing MME, mass multi-entry. Please listen to me on this one, okay? The last thing I want to say is remember this one thing. This is still week long. This is still kicking the nuts. It's still hard. Just because you're building your lineups optimally does not mean, ooh, I'm magically going to win. No, it is still hard as shit to have good lineups that will still give you a chance to win. But what happens is if you do have a good core and you do build it right, you will have tons of people boxed out this week that in a normal week you would never have. Okay? That's what's so awesome about this week. This is why I love it. This is why I play it so heavy. That brings me to, who is the one guy I'm definitely not playing this week? Well, I think that I'm really not left with much of a choice here this week. He's too fairly priced. He's been playing unbelievably well. He has a soft group. He's the absolute nuts. He could never do poorly. He loves to ring bells at Notre Dame. I gotta play Quasimodo himself. The one guy we're definitely not playing this week. It's Tyrrell Hatton. No chance I'm playing Tyrrell Hatton. The highest owned guy at a tournament like this, I don't care. Not a chance, okay? I'm not going to play him. It is the way I choose to live it. If he makes the Final Four, just know this. My ass is grass. But that's the game I play, brother. That's the game I play. Now, who is the one guy I'm definitely playing this week? Well, you know what? He's not going to be up here at the top of the board because the big guy this week is all about strokes gained putting. I want guys who can putt. And imagine there was a little 5'2" guy out there. I know you're thinking, don't you go back to Brian Harmon. No. Won't be doing that. But imagine there was like his little cousin, right? We'll call him Pip. And he's out there, and the good news is because he's so short to the ground, he can putt very well because his putter is so short. Very, very accurate control. He ball struck the last time we saw him, but couldn't putt. A guy that is notoriously the best putter out there. A guy that I think is custom fit to play well at Austin Country Club. I don't know how to tell you this, but I think I have no choice to play a guy that I never play. And I've been all in on him ever since Saturday night. The one guy we're playing this week, we're playing Denny! We're playing Denny McCarthy! He's not gonna win, but he's gonna make it out of pole play, and I'm gonna look so smart. Let's go, Denny! Yeah! We're playing Denny McCarthy. Look, I had to get a picture of him putting because that's all he can do. Look at him. Just lining up the next little birdie he's gonna roll in, right? Or he's probably gonna make a 17-foot par putt just to tilt the guy he's playing, all right? All right, let's get to the drawing, but before we do that, go check out my website. It is the fastest growing community in PGA DFS. It is called djn75.com. I have a great community over there. We don't do picks. We learn how to play the game. We have fun with it. We remember that that's what PGA DFS is all about, and oh yeah, we win a little bit too over there, right? So, because of that, my chat went down again. We were having some real issues tonight. So because of that, and we have the best tool of all called the Rosetta Stone. So, as you can see, it has everything you need to make it. We even did a special one this week just for this right here. Am I even live? I see the editor over here. Okay, he's just bringing the chat back up. Sorry, I told you tonight was going to be a shit show. We weren't ready. Apparently, the editor needs to order me some new shit. It has all the tools you need. Don't forget to go, hey, like this video, Dickie. All right, I spend a lot of time on these. So does the editor, and we don't even have a computer that works. Help us, brother. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, because you know YouTube ain't going to share my shit. Don't forget, I gave away $10,000 to Cody just a week ago. How do you win these tickets right here? It's very, very simple. You simply win this drawing that we're about to do. So let's see if we can get back over here. Let me get this up. Hopefully the editor has it up. Editor, do the drawings. First of all, the first one is to play a ticket with me tonight in the big $20 tournament. Actually, that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass because we might have to play in the secondary. The first winner is Jordan Thompson. Jordan, reach out to me tonight. We'll do a lineup. I guess I'll sacrifice one of my 150 for you, brother. And maybe we'll do the $33 single entry. I don't know. I'll ask you. And Complex Kid, I know that guy. Me and you, we're playing for the fuck counter. Me and you, Complex Kid, send me a contest invite on DraftKings. We'll play heads up. The winner will get all the money in that, which it's my money, so I'll just get to keep it. All right, we're going to do one more drawing at the end of Q&A, but let's get over to Q&A first, okay? Let's see. Get over here to the chat. If I don't see a question mark, I'm not answering it. Let me get this back up. There we go. All right, here we go. Getting over here. Oh, man, did I lose everybody's questions? I lost everybody's questions when it reset. So if you asked a question earlier, I'm sorry, you're going to have to reset it. Hey, I saw 3 super chats, very huge super chats. I appreciate every one of you motherfathers. Cody, you freaking animal. You're rich. I saw Nick, of course. Thank you, Nick, for that super chat. And there was one other one. I'm sorry that my computer crashed on me tonight. It is now gone. Maybe the editor will put down here who it was. I'm sorry I lost everybody's questions. What do you want? It's a shit show tonight. I told you at the start of the show it was going to be a shit show. You're not here because we have our shit together, brother. You're not here for that. Thank you for the super chat. It was DC2494. I don't recognize your name, but I got to tell you, motherfather, I like the cut of your jib. Thank you, all 3 of you. The editor will get to eat this week. It's going to be tough, though, because I'm going to be in Austin, so I don't know how he's going to, he's probably just going to have to eat beans this week, but I'll feed him when I get back, okay? All right, who is the weakest 2 seed? I'm just going to, by the way, go throw your question back in. Once again, I apologize. I'm sorry that happened. What do you fucking want from me? What do you want from me? All right, Delbert ask, who is the weakest 2 seed? The weakest 2 seed, in my opinion, has got to be Sepp Straka, right? I think Sepp Straka is a killer, but to call him a 2 seed, Pauly?
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know about all that, bro. All right, Justin says, with this being the last year of the Dell, what course would you choose they host a match play tourney? Man, Justin, that is a great question. Is that my dude, Justin, who's name looks very familiar. Justin, that I'm not much of a course snob. I don't really know that. I actually love these courses where everybody can compete, and I think Austin Country Club kind of provides that. The short hitters can compete with the long hitters. I definitely wouldn't want it on a long, hard U.S. Open course. I want a course where slapdick Denny McCarthy or Kevin Kisner can compete. That makes it fun to me. So it would need to be a course that I would prefer be a more shorter technical course, which tends to be Pete Dye courses. I know that much, brother. Oz Aztec, welcome, brother. Don't recognize you either. Hoping to see Rom versus Hatton this year. Well, let's see. They're on the other side of the map, right? Hatton's way over here. No, they would play in the semis. That would be good, and that would be a very chalky build. If that happens, the big guy's losing money.
Texas native Sam Burns this week. I mean, if nobody wants to play Sam Burns, I'll play him, right? It's just a good week to play leverage. Jordan Spieth, no one wants to play Jordan Spieth. I don't want to play Jordan Spieth, but I'm just going to play the game, and if nobody wants to play him, I'll play him, right? Everybody's saying, Cantlay's definitely going to the Elite Eight. Okay, all right. If you believe that, I'll take even money bet Patrick Cantlay doesn't make the Elite Eight. You slip on into my DMs, brothers. All right, Tonto Shabalonsky. What a freaking name. A lot of new names tonight. Who is the group that will be the first to get arrested in Austin? That's definitely going to be Nick. Nick's going to get belligerent. Okay, he's from Louisiana, and that's what they do down there. They get a little belligerent. Let's see. Chris, who is the last seeded guy in a group that you love? Bez. Give me some Bez. Christian Bezatin, mainly because that group sucks, Chris. Spam is good, said no one ever. Which group is the toughest and which one is the weakest? In my opinion, the toughest group is definitely group 1 or group 2. Scheffler or Rahm's group, to me, it's not even an argument. Those are the two toughest. The weakest, in my opinion, is probably this Finau or this Zalatoris group, maybe this Cam Young group, right? You got to like whoever makes that out of Rahm's group. You got to really like their chances to make the Final Four because I think this is the weakest quad outside of Rahm's group. Just my opinion, Bob. Is Cam Young win it all? I mean, I thought Cam Young was going to be chalked this week, especially he got Webb Simpson's old caddy, and Scotty Scheffler got a new caddy, and he became badass. Okay, well, that's all narrative bullshit. So, do I like Cam Young? Well, I didn't, but now that I see that he's not going to be that owned, I'm warm to him. Pretty simple game, right? Jeffrey just subscribed. Hey, I just subscribed to you. I like the cut of your jib, brother. Thanks for signing up. Christian Smith, you won the first drawing. DJ made a mistake. There it is. Christian. All right. I don't know what I did. There you go. Christian, reach out to me. You Christian, you Irishman. That's what you had here, nothing but an Irishman. Maybe they're Scottish. I didn't remember. I know you're. There's a lot of people, man. I'm sorry. You know I love you, Christian. All right. Austin, here we come. We're the 3 best friends that anyone can ever have. 3 best friends that anyone can ever have. What the hell movie is that? It's not Step Brothers, 3 best friends. Okay, now it's going to bother me until I get off the air. Thanks, Travis. All right, Tyler, Max Homa this week. I mean, he's pretty chalky. He's actually really chalky. But, I actually don't mind Kisner, Matsuyama, or Suh. And I just play all 3 of those guys are going to be are very low owned. And if any of them advance and I have them, not only are they advancing, but Max Homa's not advancing. So I'm doubling up on my cleaning up, brother. All right, I love Spieth, and he's super low owned. Well, then, Jeffrey, you ought to be dancing naked in the streets. If you love Spieth, get him in there because I have him by far the lowest owned of all of the 1 seeds. Hit the like, you motherfather. Star-Lord gets it. Thank you. I should have already said that. Drop a like. 229 of you in here, only 88 likes. What the hell are we doing? All right. Leverage, Spieth, and Finau. Yep, I agree with that. Scotty, a must-play, right? No, nobody's a must-play at this. Scotty Scheffler, as good as he is, Complex Kid, as good as he is still about 45% to make it out of his group. That means more often than not, he is not going to make it out of his group. So why is he a must-play? That would be my question to you. I don't think anybody's a must-play, but I would say he is by far the best play as far as upside. But that I don't think that anybody is 100% you got to play him this week. This ain't Tiger Woods in 2002. Michael Lafamina. Who is the golfer most likely to get steamed overnight? Victor Hovland. I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to wake up tomorrow. Victor Hovland's going to be 20%. People are going to find out about the win. People are going to see his ball striking. People are going to see that the next guy he would play would be Morikawa. I think Hovland is the guy that catches steam tonight. Great question, sir. Cody, once again, thank you, brother. You rich mother father. There's no must plays in this format. I have to agree with my dude there. Make sure you get some barbecue at the Salt Lick. I mean, is it going to be busy? I don't want to wait 3 hours for food, Chris. Plus, I'm not going to lie to you. I've already picked 3 or 4 places. By the way, I got to be up so early in the morning to leave. What am I doing? All right, Chris, you're not talking to me. Thoughts on Ryan Fox? I think that I really liked him. He was going to be one of my favorite plays, Thomas, but I kind of feel like he's getting steamed. I think there's a chance he could be the highest owned guy in this group, and there ain't no chance I'm playing Ryan Fox as the highest owned guy. So I'm going to have to monitor that, right? But I will tell you, that group, I don't like anybody else in it, so I got to play somebody, bruh. All right, Cody, is this the week we play more donkey chalk than other weeks just to get the other pivots in the same lineup? No, I think this week you don't play any donkey chalk, and you will just drink people's tears because donkey chalk tends to get fucked up at this tournament. I don't think you should fade them all, but if you're playing all the donkey chalk guys because you think it's a better week to do it, I actually think it's quite the opposite. Who is this year's Maverick McNeely? I'm going to go with Maverick McNeely. I have a good feeling that he's there. That's where we went dead. All right. Any love from Matsuyama? Yeah, Darren. Especially at 7% ownership. A lot of love. And he's actually kind of trending in the right direction, right? I feel like he's overdoing that. Oh, I'm so sore. It's like, Decky, why do you talk like that? I thought you were Japanese. All right. Do you feel more number one seeds coming out of a weaker C&D golfers? No. I think there's going to be around a third. If I had to bet, the number will be 5 or 6 of the 16 one seeds will advance. Okay, that'd be my number. That's typically what it is. It's somewhere. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 8. It averages out to about 5.5. I guess the half is Brian Harmon. I'm kidding. He's not a 1 seed. All right. Let's see. You heard it here first. Less than 5 talk. Oh, there you go. Jeff agrees with me. Connor's worth a look. Mike, I do like Corey Connors. This is a really crappy group, and the thing is no one really in this group's getting ownership, so why not? Only thing I worry about is if they advance, they got to play that ROM group, who I think is one of the strongest groups. Nick's asked, who is this year's Purdue versus Florida Atlantic? I am going to say, who's just a really nasty upset? I am going to say that Matt Kuchar advances over Victor Hovland. There you go. There's my Purdue over, you know what? Fuck that. We're going Nick Taylor over Patrick Cantlay, because that would be a true 1 seed, right? If this were a 64-team tournament, Patrick Cantlay would be the 4th number 1 seed. So we'll go Nick Taylor advances over Patrick Cantlay. That is my Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue. Love the Stone update on top bracket. Hey, thanks, Nakora. We worked hard. We worked all day on that. That's why this show has been a shit show, because we've been working all day on that Stone, motherfather. All right, who is the Princeton? The Princeton is going to be Denny McCarthy. Easy. All right, who do you think wins this tournament? Scotty Scheffler. He's just gonna win, right? He's just gonna win. We did this last year. He can't keep playing this good. He does. All right. Thanks for the stream. As always, enjoy the trip. Thanks, Trouble. Appreciate you, brother. Is it okay to have 4 on one half of the bracket, or should it be 3? No. Okay. So if you have 4, so let's say you go Scheffler and Siwoo Kim from this side, and then down here you go Justin Suh and Sam Burns, right? And then you go Lucas Hebert, and you go Corey Connors. That would be fine. You can go 4 from one side. Just make sure that of those 4, only 2 are in each quad, and preferably for me, you only have 1 of them in each little pod of 8. That's what I would say, brother. Let's see. Thoughts on Cam Davis? I'm kind of warming up to him. Fat Sandwich, by the way, great name, Fat Sandwich. I might have a couple of those when I'm in Austin. Can you have a sacrificial lamb in your round of 8 and make your guys make the final 4? Yeah, I mean, look. What's more important than getting 6 of 8 to the Elite 8? Because that's going to happen so rarely. If you can nail the final 4, you're going to be very live to win, because so few lineups will hit that 6 of 8. But if you do hit that 6 of 8, there is a very good chance you will literally already have won the tournament by Saturday afternoon. You'll already know that you've won, okay? Because you'll have everybody boxed out. It'd be a pretty awesome feeling to already know you're going to win $200,000 by Saturday afternoon. All right, who is the best putter under pressure this week? Okay, when I think of putting under pressure, not Jordan Spieth, that's for sure, dickhead. Give me under pressure. That's a good question. Let's go Adam Hadwin. Fuck it, let's go Hadwin. All right, let's moving on. Homa love. I mean, I loved Homa until I saw that ownership, Hannah, and then I fell out of love with Homa. Okay, I don't want to. He's not welcome here in Oklahoma. Any quads automatically get 2 picks? Any quad automatically get 2 picks? I do not know what that means. I'm sorry, brother. I don't get it. I don't get it. Holy shit, there's a lot of questions to get through. It's already 7:58. All right, gotta love Denny. Oh, look at Billy trying to get on the same train as me. Now that I've beat him like 7 weeks in a row because I took that great sleeper last week, Spieth. Now he doesn't want to bet me anymore. Do you like Kurt Kitayama? I didn't, but his ownership's coming in really low, Rob, and he's in a really, really weak group. I don't think Finau's a world beater. I think that Kitayama is a good I wish Finau were more chalky, and I would play Kitayama to get off of that, but honestly, nobody in that little group is very highly owned. Chris Kirk this week? I mean, I not really. I would rather play Siwoo and Kuchar over him. That's just me, though. All right. Do you notoriously bad win players are? Do you know? No, not off the top of my head. I really don't. You could look it up on Fantasy National, but I think those stats are a little noisy. Let's see. If you're building 300 lineups, how many do you have in that player pool? I'll have 48 guys in my player pool, Billy. For each quad of 8, I'm going to pick 6 guys. So I'll kind of strategically fade 2 in each of them. That's how I'm going to do it. Ricky is a bracket buster? Definitely. I feel like Ricky, you're actually going to get good leverage on him if he advances out of that group. In the 20 max, is cascading a bad idea? I don't like cascading this week, Mike, simply because of this. There's so much variance. I don't want to be 80% in on any motherfather player. I would imagine the highest I'll be at any player this week will probably be around 35 to 40%. We've already answered that one. 60 lineups. How many's in your player pool? I think I answered that earlier, Justin, on the video. I think I said between 50 and 100, I would be at 32. No, 28 to 32. 28 to 32. All right, let's see. Does chalk really matter with match play format? I think it's a great week to fade it. So it does matter if you ever want to like make chalk pay for a week. This is a great way to do it. There's going to be some chalk donkeys exploding this week. All right, anybody else get a little stoned before you build your lineups? A little extra dose of confidence? I kind of dig that, Chris. A little don't give a fuck in you. I can respect it. What is your highest percentage of player you would have in a 20 max? I'd play him in 8 of those 20, Christian. 8 of those 20. Do you take the President Cup's result into play? I do. We added it to it, Cody, which wasn't a ton of results, but we did add it. What do you think about them making the FedEx Cup Championship match play? I'd love that, Nick, because the current format sucks. Can we pretend Cam Davis found something at the Players? Absolutely, Fat Sandwich. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. How many mulligans are you taking this week in golfing? Over, under 25? Who are you guys tend to be the better match players? So we have all that on the Rosetta Stone. Some guys off the top of my head are Kisner and Horschel. I think we're 1 and 2 on that list. Can Cam Young win it all? No, but I feel like he can make the Final Four. That's how I kind of have. Where's the love button? Thanks, Ricky, you motherfucker. We're up to 107 likes. Maybe we get up to 120 before I get out of here. So you're telling me if I leave a comment, I have a chance of winning the drawing? That's right, sir. That's right. That's what I'm telling you. Sorry to all those people who got screwed by my computer crashing. At least it didn't turn off. How many players in your pool this week? 48. 48. Came in late. What's the wind edge? There is no wind edge this week. It's just going to be wind blowing for everybody. Hannah, they'll all be out there at the same time. They'll all be playing the same course, and they'll be playing against each other. So really it's just about who plays better in the wind is the real question. Henley? I mean, man, he seems like he would be good. He's one of those guys I'm talking about that can make a lot of birdies and a lot of bogeys, but man, he's kind of been sucking balls. But if it's a chance to get off Terrell Hatton chalk, I'm open to it, brother. I'm open to it. How many times will Ryan Fox win 4 and 3? All 3 of them, Tonto. Moving on. Is Tigala comeback time? I kind of like Tigala. I feel like he's the kind of guy you want to play. He just strikes me as a grinder. You got to love those guys that won't give up. Seb Straka gets down 3. That chubby boy is packing it the F up. Okay. Would you rather play Scotty or Rom? Scotty, but I love them both. I just think their win equity in both of them is just too incredible. I agree, Jeffrey. I agree that he is built. Case Lee is my sleeper. I like it. Hey, guys, I think that's it, man. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I told you it'd be a shit show. Been trying to take care of my website and all my members on the Discord. Don't forget to come check us out at DJN75. Don't forget, if Denny misses the cut and you at me, you're a dumb fuck. Okay? It's just a shtick. I appreciate all you guys being here. There's no showdown tonight. If you're going to be out at Austin, reach out to me. I'd love to meet up with you and grab a beer. We will be there Friday at the course. We will be in Austin all week. I leave tomorrow morning. It has been real. It has been fun. We will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Lord's time zone. In the meantime, you motherfathers, I hope you enjoy this outro.